I mean,
Well, no, Clint Frazier's not playing too great lately either. I mean, like over the last couple games, he's played well, hasn't he, or no?
I
Because
mean,
he's in the mix too.
okay.
He had a
Here,
good game, didn't he? Or did I dream that?
no, Clint's actually been decent lately. Now, I want to talk about Clint just for a little bit. I'm sure you kind of relate to me when I say this, but I feel like the Yankees have kind of been so disrespectful to Clint Frazier. I mean, if you look at his stats, like for his last 20 games or so, he hasn't been that bad to the point where he needed to sit for a week. The dude literally didn't get a start for almost the entire week last week, bro. Especially after the pinch hit double in Toronto that won them the first game of the series. It's just it's getting to a weird point at this point with Clint Frazier's Yankees career. I'm on board where you either send the dude down or trade him, bro, because it's borderline like disrespectful how they've treated him.
Can I tell you something?
Are you going to bring up his weighted runs created plus?
You might want me to with your argument since it started June 1st.
Oh, go for it, Dan.
132. That's really
I
good.
get it. I
That's
get it.
good.
No, I
That's good.
know.
That's
Oh,
good.
you're actually
So
defending me here. No,
I
yeah.
am. And that's funny because I went to look that up to disprove you on that because it honestly doesn't feel like Clint's been amazing over that like
But
long
that's what I'm
stretch.
trying to tell you because he hasn't played, bro. He hasn't
I
got the
say,
opportunity.
another like say like Andujar keeps like kind of crap in the bed, which he has been the last few games for another like week or so. Then I think Clint should be very much like your everyday left fielder like Andujar's been over the last few weeks. Now the thing I'll disagree with you on is, or somewhat disagree with you on, is I totally would have agreed with you about how like the Yankees are screwing over Clint like going into this year. That's always been the case. Like they have not like treated him the way he should have been treated, you know. But like for a good portion of this year, like and still his season stats right now, Clint Frazier has not been good this year, and like you can
I
admit
agree.
that.
No,
Yeah. So
for
I mean,
sure.
like he was given the opportunity to have the left field job, and they didn't handle that perfectly either. I mean, Brett
Barely.
Gardner was starting in left like the third game of the season, I
Yeah.
think, right? But still,
Clint
I
was
mean,
benched for 2
Clint
games, I think 10 games into the year.
that was dumb, yeah.
Yeah, very
But he
dumb.
still has had his fair share of playing time, and for a good while, he was getting consistent at bats. Clint, like from like April to June,
Before
April to
Andujar came up,
May,
yeah.
yeah, like he was getting consistent at bats, and he didn't play well. But yeah, I mean, if he keeps hitting well, then sure. Somebody brings up, is Clint Frazier still a bust? Dan, as of right now, I'm sorry, Clint Frazier is a bust. But that doesn't mean, as a Yankee, it doesn't mean it's necessarily his fault. But you know,
I agree.
everybody was nagging on me the other day because I said Clint Frazier's officially a bust, and then he had that good game. He had the 2 doubles, which was what, Sunday, I think, whatever it was.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think so. No, bro, that was. I mean, that kind of like led to the Yankees rally. Because the first double they kind of left him stranded, but then the second one was when Judge drove him in. That kind of started the whole run scoring fiasco there. But I mean, honestly, like I just want to see. I bring up this analogy all the time. It's like a toxic relationship right now between the Yankees and Clint Frazier. I just want to see them break up, and I want to see Clint Frazier do better with himself, bro. I want to see him go somewhere else and succeed because I think that he has all the talent in the world to do so. I just think he's been so misutilized in the Yankees organization. We're talking about a guy who could have been called up as like a starting center fielder, left fielder, whatever, in like 2018. He made his debut in 2017, never really got a real chance. Then he just fluctuated so much between AAA and the major leagues over the past few years. You can't really blame the guy for not being able to like kind of just get his groove at the plate, especially when, I mean, I know like we talk about advanced stats, and I'm like a firm believer in like the whole mental aspect of the game that goes beyond stats. You look at like, bro, Clint Frazier was probably looking over his shoulder the entirety of the beginning of the season, and that has to do something on his playing time. You can tell me I'm wrong, I don't care, but especially after, let's say, I think Clint was pretty solid like 5 games into the season, then he slumped for about 5 games. I think the 10th or 11th game of the year, something like that, the Yankees go to Tampa, and then he was benched for those 2 games, and Brett Gardner started over him. You have to think that messed with his mentality somehow, some way, even just a little bit, that it made him look over his shoulder for the rest of the season.
I don't think you're wrong in saying that. Let me ask you though, outside of like the Yankees, like the actual organization's handling of him, do you think New York has any effect on Clint, like negatively? Like, do you think he might like put a little too much pressure on himself? Like, it
You
may
know
not
what
be
I
the right
think the
fit for
issue
him.
is? You know
Outside
what I
of
think the
what the
issue is?
Yankees have done to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like like playing in the market of New York alone. Like, do you think that?
Yes. You know why? Because the Clint Frazier that we see on the Yankees right now, this is not Clint Frazier. The Clint Frazier that we saw when he first came up, right? Kind of like the fun guy, the guy who would kind of say whatever he wanted to. That's Clint Frazier, bro. And I think right now we're just seeing like a dude who's just a shell of himself. He can't truly be himself. He's worried about the New York media kind of ripping on him if he says anything wrong. So yeah, I think truly if he goes to a place like Arizona, I think that we would see a dude who his confidence would be back.
So
And
what you're
I
saying
think
is,
the
you want
talent
to see
would be back as well.
some gross long hair past the neck, and you want to see some cocky bat flips.
I never said that, but listen. No, but Dan, listen.
I'm kidding.
Like we joke around about it, but like just like how we were talking about before with the high stocks, right? If you feel like you look good, you're gonna play good. And in that case, like bro, it goes past looks at that point. It goes like in mental space. And if Clint Frazier feels like he's not in a good mental space in New York for whatever reason, if it's because he can't grow his hair longer, because he can't grow a beard, I don't know. But for some reason, it just seems like it's not clicking for him in New York, and he might need a better environment to do so.
I think that's fair, but I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I feel like he's done after this year. Like, unless he goes on like a tour stretch, and it's not like just like
He
the
might get
offense,
traded at the
bro. Like
deadline.
anybody who wants to criticize Andujar's defense, like they have to basically say the same thing about Frazier because, and I thought this ever since going back to last year. Like, yeah, Clint was a Gold Glove finalist in 2020, but like, bro, like, couldn't we kind of see that was an aberration? Like, he's not that good in left field, and we were seeing that this year, bro. Like that one ball, I'm not sure if the runner ended up scoring or not, but that double that the A's
Yesterday?
hit, I forget, yeah, was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
That ball should have been caught. It had
No
like
runs
90,
been scored,
I think it literally had because Licky's a beast, but it had a 95% catch probability. And
No, I
like
know.
he's just not good at tracking balls, and like I don't think he's gonna improve on that. And like if you do think he's putting on more pressure playing in New York, he's not able to be himself. Like I don't think like that's gonna help his situation in the outfield at all because he probably is putting pressure on himself.
No, I agree 1,000%.
I think
Also,
honestly, bro, what I'm saying is I think he's done. Like I don't think he's. I think this is his last year with the Yankees.
I agree. If he even makes it through the rest of the season. But also, I mean, kind of going back to, you mentioned Miguel Andujar. Now, I know like the advanced metrics kind of show that Clint Frazier is one of the worst outfielders defensively in all of baseball, right? But at the same time, I think I'd still prefer him out there over Miguel Andujar. Like, just based on the eye test. You're not telling me you trust Clint out there over Andujar?
It depends. Like, I feel like, honestly, call me crazy. A routine fly ball, like the definition of a routine fly ball, I honestly will take Andujar. But, like, if there's, like, a ball in the gap that needs to be caught, like, and I have to, like, my life depends on it, like, I would probably go with Clint. But, like, bro, like, Andujar, I think, and would you admit this, has been more solid than you anticipated he'd be in left field, at least compared to last year. Like, he's looked comfortable at times. Like, he has blunders, too. I feel like he has the same amount of blunders that Clint does, So, the way I see it is, like, their defense makes them neck and neck. Just who's hitting better offensively lately? And as of late, it's Brett Gardner. So,
like, how does it always come back to that? It's like,
I'm just trying to piss.
You're just like, oh, I see Pat's a little calm right now, so let's kind of bring this up again.